Hi, I'm Ayan.
And I'm Sid.
And you're watching Every Car.
Fun fact, the Lamborghini Urus is actually not the first SUV that Lamborghini made. The first SUV that Lamborghini made was actually called the LM002.
Yeah, and the Lamborghini LM002 actually had a 5.2 litre V12 engine, which is pretty cool in my opinion.
Speaking of SUVs, do you know that SUVs are all the craze now? Performance SUVs especially have the perfect blend of practicality and performance. They'll help you haul your family around the whole week and will let you set a lap time at a racetrack without a slouch. They are practical and capable, which is what most performance SUV buyers look for. We have curated a list of top 5 performance SUVs that we think are the best.
Coming in at number 1, we've got the Mercedes GLC 63S. It's got a twin turbocharged 4-litre V8 producing 503 horsepower, 700 Newton meters of torque, and 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. You've got a 9-speed gearbox with all-wheel drive, and the all-wheel drive system is rear-wheel bias. Some of the pros that come with this car is that it's very low-key and not out there, especially when you start seeing the other cars that are in this list. The other cars in this list are a bit more flashy, let's just say that. You've got again, like I mentioned in the last video, you've got the Mercedes MBUX system, which is one of the greatest systems out there. I think you could even argue that it's better than the BMW and the Audi systems. In my opinion, although this is subjective, I think the car looks great, and that's going to come up for another car as well, but this car looks really good. The flowing lines and just the AMG upgrades compared to the normal standard GLC, which in my opinion just make it look like such a clean car. Some of the things that I don't like about the car is that since it's a GLC 63S and it's the performance variant of the car, you do lose out on the comfort part of things. It can get really uncomfortable, and especially if you option out for the bucket seats compared to the standard seats that it comes with, that is not helping your ride quality in any way. And so if you're doing a lot of road trips and a lot of long distance driving, although it can be really rewarding in the corners, you really don't want to be sitting on a motorway, especially if you're in British roads, as they say. But that is something that is a drawback in terms of the car. In terms of what I think of the car, I know I'm a bit biased towards Mercedes, but I think they just make such great cars, and I feel like the GLC is one of my favorite cars in their lineup, and it's especially because of the fact that it's so low-key. When you see the G-Wagon or even the GLS, they're more flashy cars and they're more for letting people know that you have the top of the top Mercedes. While with the GLC 63S, you're a bit more low-key, and that's what I really like about the car, and the looks and everything that just comes. The overall package is just great in my opinion.
Next up, we have the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Oh, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It's actually the Quattrofoglio. It's got a twin turbo V6 and has 505 horsepower and 600 Newton meters of torque, and shoots the car from 0 to 60 in just 4.5 seconds to hit a top speed of 176 miles an hour. It's also got an 8-speed ZF gearbox. If we talk about the pros of this car, it's actually a very stylish looking car, and it's got a very Alfa Romeo style to it. It's got the generic Alfa grille with the triangle at the front, and it's also got a very generic Alfa Romeo back. It's quite a light and powerful car, and so even if it's not as powerful as its competitors, it's actually quite a lot of fun to drive. Now, if you look at the cons for this car, the interior quality is not that great. It's definitely not on par with its German rivals. If you plan to take the car more on track days and thrash it around on the track, I'd recommend selecting the carbon ceramic brakes option, because the standard brakes aren't that great. In terms of what I think of the car, I think it's a very good blend of performance, practicality and looks. It's definitely a very different choice when you compare it to the German rivals. And why would you not get it? It's got a Ferrari derived V6.
Coming in hot, we have the BMW X5M competition. We've got a 4.4 litre V8 with 617 horsepower, 780 Nm of torque, and will take you from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. so even faster than the GLC. It's got a ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox with a rear bias system, just like the GLC 63S. Some of the advantages or the things that I really like about this car is that it's extremely vigorous acceleration. Going from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, especially in an SUV, is actually really fast. And so this is one of the more faster ones, especially compared to the competition. Some of the disadvantages that come with this car is that the options are mad. So you can get the X5M, or you can choose to upgrade to the X5M competition that I'm talking about. And if you get the X5M, you get 600 horsepower. While if you upgrade to the X5M competition, you get 617 horsepower. And you get an extra 17 horsepower, which is great. But that option costs a whopping $9,000, which is in options alone. This car can go above and beyond in terms of the price. In terms of my final opinion on the car, I think the car looks so good. Although BMW gets shamed for their kidney grills, I think it fits really well on this BMW. If money was no object, I would buy this car like hands down. The fact that it can go so fast in an SUV and is one of the better performing and better handling cars in this segment, it's amazing in my opinion. And money was no object, I would 100% buy this car.
And if money was an object for you, I think you'll like the next car on the list. Get ready for some bonkers numbers. In terms of an engine, it's got a 6.2 litre supercharged V8. It's got 707 horsepower and 874 Newton meters of torque. And it shoots you from 0 to 60 in just 3.3 seconds to a top speed of 174 miles an hour. It's got an 8-speed automatic gearbox with a 4-wheel drive system. In terms of pros, I think one of the main pros for this car is just its supercharger and its supercharger whine. Why would you not buy this car just for that supercharger whine? Like, the sound is just so satisfying. And I feel like the main selling point for this car should be that supercharger whine. Another pro for this car is that at this price point, the Jeep Trackhawk actually comes with almost all the features as standard, unlike Mr. Ayan and his BMW. It's also quite spacious on the inside. It has insane acceleration. If you actually brake boost it at its highest RPM, it will actually overcome the brakes and start moving forward. Think about that. You're flooring the brake and you're flooring the accelerator, and the car actually starts moving in front. That's how powerful the engine is. It's also quite comfortable, and if you think about the specs that you get in the car, it's actually a bargain. Some of the cons with this car are at $100,000. I feel like you would expect a plush interior, which this does not quite provide. It's got plastic bits here and there in the interior, and the infotainment system and the infotainment system and the gauge cluster also don't look that great. Another very big con with this car is its appalling fuel economy. I mean, I know all performance SUVs or all performance cars in general have bad fuel economy, but this is exceptionally bad. In terms of my opinion of the car, I feel like it's actually a bargain. It's a big spacious SUV with tons of power, and all that power is always available on tap. Another driving point for this car is that it's quite a reliable engine. Because it's very bare bones and there's very less electronic work going on in the car, it's actually quite reliable.
Now that we got all the cheap cars out of the way, we've got the big daddy, the creme de la creme, the Lamborghini Urus. In terms of the engine, it's got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 with 641 horsepower, 850 Newton meters of torque, takes you from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds and hits a top speed of 190 miles per hour.
Now, if you look at the pros for this Lamborghini is actually very big. It's a very big and practical car. You can pretty much carry whatever you want. You can carry your big dog, you can carry your guns, whatever you want in this car. It's got very good tech too in the car, because everything is mostly derived from Audi and Volkswagen. They're the Germans, they always do a good job with the cars. So it is pretty good. It has pretty good tech. It's also fairly good off-road. And you would think a Lamborghini is not that good off-road because it's a Lamborghini. But surprisingly, the Lamborghini Urus is actually quite good off-road too. Now when we look at the cons for this Urus, it really hits us. When we look at the starting price, it starts at a whopping $222,000, which is very difficult to digest when you think about it. It's at the end of the day, it's just a more singing, more dancing, more flashy RSQ8, and paying that kind of money for an Audi is quite bonkers. Some of the people actually complained about the gear selector not actually engaging gears, like it doesn't engage drive or reverse, and at that price point I don't think I would expect that in a car like this. Another very big con for this car is its purchase and running costs. It is one of the most expensive cars to buy and run. I don't know, for some reason Lamborghini just charges very high prices for everything, and it's just very expensive to maintain this car. That's just the reality of owning it. So overall, if we had to sum up our opinion with this car, it's one of the best cars on sale today. It's just a brilliant, bonkers car to drive, bonkers to look at. It looks fast even when it's stationary. How many cars manage to do that? The fact that you can daily drive a Lamborghini to most places is actually pretty cool to think about. Overall, we love the car and hands down we'd buy it.
If money was no object. With that being said, I think we'll wrap up the video here. It was a pretty fun video and there were a lot of great cars in there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as we loved recording it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Peace.